Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. This week I'm going to create a sympathy card with the help of my Big Shot and a brand new bundle that I just received. It's the Flourishing Phrases stamp set, which is a set of 2, and I chose the clear mount. And then there's the Flourish Thinlits dies that coordinates. Now, this whole suite of products is going to carry over into the next annual catalog, but the reason that I bought it now, rather than waiting for the next catalog to go live, is that right now it's a bundle and I can get 10% off. If I wait until the next catalog goes live, these will be separate and we won't be able to get the discount. So that might be something you wish to consider, is to look through the catalog now and see what bundles are carrying over and pick them up now to save yourself a bit of money. And that way you have more money left over for other stamping things. That's the way I look at it anyway. So my card base is going to be Whisper White. I've cut it 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it on the 5.5 mark, and it's going to be a vertical layout like so. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut 2 of the thinlits from the pack, from the Flourish Thinlits dies pack. And I'm going to use my magnetic platform, my bottom standard cutting pad. I'm going to use rich razzleberry for this card. This card layout is actually very simple. Hopefully you can copy the idea using products you have at home. And because the Flourish Thinlits are quite intricate, I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper. If you are living in the US, you'd want to use wax paper. I think actually wax paper works a little bit more efficiently than the parchment paper, but I can't get parchment paper here. And so I'm going to put 2 of the thinlits on, and then I'm going to put the top standard cutting pad on top, hold it in place, and run it through the Big Shot. And because it's fairly intricate, I'm going to go one way, and then I'm going to come back towards me. Just adds a little bit more pressure, and hopefully they will pop right out quite easily. Okay, there's that. And what I can do is, after the video's over, is I can use my paper piercing tool and I can poke the parchment paper off, or I can just leave it embedded in the die for the next time. So here are my 2 images, and then all I'm going to do is take my paper piercing tool and poke out the bits and pieces. So I'll do that off camera, and I'll come back in a minute and show you these 2 flourishes that are ready to mount onto my card. I've completed poking out the little pieces from the 2 flourishes, and now I'm ready to continue on with my card. I'm going to put a layer across the front of my card, and I'm going to use Whisper White and Rich Razzleberry, and I'm going to take the Sympathy stamp from the stamp set. I'm going to ink it up with Rich Razzleberry and stamp it on the right side of this layer. If you want a list, whoop, that didn't work out very well. Let me try it again. There we go. If you want a list of the supplies that I used and the measurement for the cardstock layers, you can head on over to my blog, and I will have a list of everything you need to make this card over there. So I'm going to use some fast fuse on the back of the Whisper White layer and attach that like that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is bring in my fine tip glue pen and this larger flourish. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use some glue on the back of the bits and pieces of the flourish where I can. I don't want to use too much. If this glue leaks out onto the front of the card, it creates a shine that I really don't like. So it sort of looks like, oh, you spilled over. It gives you a reminder of that. but I like this glue. It doesn't sound like I like it. I really do like this glue because I like the pen nib to it, the tip, so that I can get glue precisely where I want it to be. A little bit there. And I don't mind if some of the pieces of this flourish pop off the page. I think it adds some interest. So I'm okay with that too. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put my flourish onto my card base, right directly onto it, and then just hold it in place for a couple of seconds. Right, and then I'm going to use some fast fuse again. And I'm going to, there's a little piece right there, there we go. I'm going to tuck this under. Like so. Now I go back and hold this down. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in this little flourish, this little flower flourish, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some glue onto it and adhere that down. There is a new product coming back into the next annual catalog that will make adhering these kinds of flourishes very exciting and very easy. But for now, I'm going to use this, and I will use this returning product on a future video so you can see it. All right, and then I'm going to put the lid back on this because this tends to dry very quickly. And the last thing I'm going to do to finish my card is I'm going to take one of these enamel shapes that's the rich raspberry, and I'm going to put it in the center of the flower like so to complete my sympathy card. If you want a list of the supplies that I used and the measurement for the cardstock, hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While on my blog, make sure you're a newsletter subscriber. I send out a free newsletter each week with a project idea you won't see anywhere else on my social media or anywhere else. And also, if you like this video, please click the like button. I'd appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube videos. I try and post at least one a week. I'm Terry. I am nuts about stamping. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.